This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today it's all about the pups. We love our dogs, they're so sweet, the wagging tail, they just melt your heart. You know, at the King household, we have many little rescue fellas over here. This guy here is Laddie. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to look at a game that's coming out on Kickstarter soon. It is called Pups. It is a trick-taking game for 2 to 5 players. It plays in about 30 minutes. And so let me show you how it's played, and I'll see you on the side. What do you think, Laddie? Now, Pups is a trick-taking card game where there's 4 different suits of 4 different colors, and each of those suits go from 1 to 9. Now, how trick-taking works in BASIC is they're played over multiple rounds. Each of those rounds are called tricks. One player will lead by playing a card of a certain suit. The next player, clockwise, has to play a card of this suit if they have one. So this player might have played a 2 of that green suit. The next player may have played a 4. And then the last player might have played a 9. All of these followed suit because they had to. The highest number that followed suit would win. So this player would win this trick. They would collect all these cards and they would put them face down in one single pile to show that they have won a trick. And then they would lead the next round. They might lead the new trick with this suit. And then the next player, let's say they play this. Now the next player doesn't have any blue suits, so they throw this 7, it is off suit. Anything that's off suit is known as sloughing, and usually you cannot win with this card. And then this is followed suit. Now this person would win the trick because they are the highest in the suit that was led. Now this one didn't, even though it was a higher number, did not win because it was not on suit. So this player would collect these cards. Now I said this card usually cannot win. However, each round a random card will be flipped up from the deck that's called the alpha dog for the round. This suit is known as what's called trump. In this case, the 6 had won before without this trump because it was the highest of the suit led. Now here, this player played trump suit. This suit now trumps this. Now remember, you can't play this suit if you have the suit led, but if you didn't have any of these, someone threw a trump suit, they would actually win this trick. In fact, even if this card were lower than the lead trick, this card would win because it's the only trump. But if there was a second trump played, again they didn't have this suit, this would have won because it's the trump suit and it's the highest. So it always goes trump suit, highest, and if there's no trump, it's the highest of the lead suit. And that's the basics of how the trick taking works in this game. Now I'm going to walk you through a full round of how the game's played. The first thing that happens is we shuffle this deck and the alpha dog comes off the top, and again we see what the alpha suit is. Every player is going to now get 7 cards that they will secretly hold in their hand for the round. Now at the beginning of the game, the leader is randomly chosen, and they get to choose a bid. You've got 4 choices here from cards, but actually you have 7 choices. So you could bid that you win 0 tricks. Now remember, each round there's going to be 7 tricks because you're dealt 7 cards. Now you're going to bid how many of these based upon your cards that you were given and the alpha trump. You're going to figure out which ones, how much you think you're going to win. This could be 0. I'm going to bid so I win exactly 0. That means you're not going to win any tricks. This says at least 1, at least 2, at least 3. But when you pull one of these cards, you could actually flip it over and put it in front of you and say exactly 1. Notice that exactly has more treats. These are going to be positive points. If you get at least 1 trick and you took this card, you'll get 1 point. If you take this and you don't get at least 1 trick, you will get a penalty poo, which is basically minus. So it's reward treats or penalty poos, and all these cards here are double-sided, so you could do at least 1, 2, or 3, or exactly 1, 2, or 3. And every time you go to exactly, essentially you're doubling the amount of treats, but it's the same amount of penalty poos. After bidding, we would go to the showdown phase. Whoever took the highest bid card would lead the first trick. If 2 people took the highest bid card, then it would be the player who played it last. So let's say this player led with this, and this, then this, and then this. Well, this is not the alpha suit. And so this one would win this trick, and that you would do the showdown like normal. But there's actually another suit in the game I haven't told you about yet, and they are called mutts. And they range anywhere from 1 to 3, and there's 7 cards just like all the other suits. And what happens is you can play 1 mutt with another card. So if this player had played the 3, along with the 3 mutt, this card is now 6. And this card would now take the trick because this was the lead suit, and this card would take it. If for some reason you tie, then nobody wins the trick, but the person who caused the tie is the leader of the new trick. Now, since mutts are their own suit, you can lead with a mutt, and that means if anybody else has a mutt, they must also follow suit. And this is sometimes fun to draw out other people's cards and get the mutts out of their hand. In this case, this player would have won this. Of course, if they didn't have mutts, they could play anything else. And even sometimes you might want to lead with two mutts, because even though mutts can be played with any other suit as a wild, it can be played again with itself. This would have been a 3 suit of mutt. So after the 7 tricks are over, you're going to see what happens. We're going to go to the reward phase, and I'm going to find out if we get rewarded with treats or penalty poops. So let's say I said I wanted to take at least 2 tricks, and let's say I did. I took at least 2. This would go here. In subsequent rounds, they go like this so you can quickly see your score. If I did not take it, I would have had a penalty poo. So let's say first round I said at least 2 and I got it. Let's say next one I said exactly 1 and I got it. And so this is how it goes, and this is how you get your points. Now let's say it's the bidding round again of the next round. Before we were taking cards off the top of the deck and bidding. But you can actually redeem yourself. Earlier I got 2 penalty poos. And I want to redeem myself. So during my bid, instead of taking a card, I can take this out and use either side as my bid for this round. I could say at least 2, or I could actually even flip it and say exactly 2. If I get it right, hey, I've turned that negative into a positive. If I got it wrong, well, then it would go here again and I could try to redeem it again later. Now there was a bid card we haven't talked about too much yet. It's the exactly 0. If you have a weak hand or you think you can dodge all the tricks and you want to get 0, you would bid 0. If you did not get 0 tricks, this would just go back in the pile. If you did, this gets added here. Now it's no points, but what happens is in a future round, let's say the next round I bid I wanted to get exactly 2 tricks. At the end of the round, I only got 1. I can turn this in to gain a bonus trick. So this gets turned in, and I would have gotten exactly 2, otherwise I would have failed, and that's how you use the exactly 0 bid. Also, during the reward phase, after everyone has figured out whether they get reward treats or penalty poos, the person who has the most tricks that round gets the top dog bonus. It's just an extra point. Now, if somebody ties and nobody has the only most amount, one of these top dog cards gets discarded off the deck because this acts as a timer for the game. And then the person who has the most treats total in their pile will be the leader of the next round. And treats, the total treats is basically treats minus the poos. So we have 4, 5, 7, minus 2 is 5. If I had the most, I'd be the leader. If I was tied, we would just draw a card off the Pups deck, and whoever has the highest number would be the leader of the next round. Now the game will continue until one of 2 things happens. Either the last of these top dog cards are given out, the game will end, or if any one of these 3 bidding piles are depleted during the bidding phase, that will be the last round at the end of it. You then count up your total treats, as I mentioned before, and whoever has the most is the winner. In case of a tie, the player who collected the most top dog cards is the true winner. Now, since this is the final art in the game, I wanted to show it off to you to show you that every card has different artwork. Look at this. We have a Cocker Spaniel, Scottish Terrier, Collie, Jack Russell Terrier, Labrador Retriever, the Beagle, the Bulldog, the Poodle, and the Golden Retriever in this suit. And in this suit, we have the Great Dane, the Bernese Mountain Dog, Australian Shepherd, the St. Bernard, the Old English Sheepdog, the Husky, the Welsh Corgi, the German Shepherd, and the Border Collie. And in this suit, we have the English Bull Terrier, the Akita, the Commodore, the Pit Bull, the Chow Chow, the Bull Mastiff, the Rottweiler, the Giant Schnauzer, and the Doberman Pinscher. And here we have the Boston Terrier, the French Bulldog, the Shih Tzu, the Chihuahua, the Dachshund, the Maltese, the Pomeranian, the Yorkshire Terrier, and the Pug. And here are the 3 different mutts that you see in the game. Now I want to point out that the game is colorblind friendly, meaning all the suits have an icon that you can use to distinguish it if you can't see the colors, but thematically it makes sense too, because here we have lap dogs. These are all guard dogs, these are family dogs, and these are working dogs. Really cool. Now outside of the base game, there is a sort of mini little expansion here. This is if you do the alpha level. It's only $3 more. You get a 10 of each of the suits, and you get the underdog. Now, this is not the final artwork for these cards. Look at the Kickstarter page. They actually have little stories about each of the legendary dogs and why they're legendary. And the underdog is cool because it actually looks different from the backs of all the other cards. And this is given to whoever's in last place at the beginning of each round. And so they have one additional card, and it really helps them out. So it's sort of a catch-up mechanism. Now, as you can tell, this game is simple enough for families to love, but yet has enough going on that gamers are going to love it too. If you've never played trick-taking games before, this is a good introduction to it because it's quite simple. There's only one trump, and you can basically, the bidding aspect might be a little hard at first, but I love how you can get, like you can say, hey, I just want one or more tricks, or two or more tricks, or I want exactly. So if you're a really good trick-taking player, you can try to get exactly right, which is hard to do, but you get double the points. Of course, if you don't get it right, it's negative. Or if you're new at trick-taking games, hey, I want at least one, and you can build some confidence there. I also like the fact that you can redeem yourself. You messed up on one of those bidding? Well, I can redeem myself and try to get that card again and go, yes, I've been redeemed. Lots of fun things here. The artwork is amazing. I love the art style here. Definitely if you're going to get this game, get the alpha version. It's only $3 more. Having that underdog is really cool, and the legendary pups, go check out the Kickstarter. So if this is interesting to you, I am sure that the guys at Bink Inc. would love your support. It's on Kickstarter right now for about another week to another week and a half, so you got to act fast. The link for that Kickstarter is in the description of this video below, and we'll see you next time.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.